Hey friends, so on today's Getting Fit Without the Fancy Equipment, I want to show you how I did a leg day without any fancy equipment at all. And I felt like I really got a good exercise out of it, and I think you would too, just using the simple equipment that I have or that you can find. One of the things I used was this box in my garage. It's actually an old safe that somebody was giving away. We haven't used it, but it's sturdy enough to hold me. And anyway, any box that you think would hold you would be great. And all I did was do step-ups on it, like so. And I did 5 sets of 15 on it, and it was great. It got my heart rate going, and so that was great too. So it can be good for you. Just use any box that you think would hold you, and that's a great exercise. So that's one of the ones I used. Another thing I did for my exercise today for leg day was I used this dumbbell. It's a 50-pound dumbbell. It's probably one of the more expensive things in my gym. It's 50 pounds. That's what works for me. So anyway, all I did was take the dumbbell, held it, and did a squat. But you can use 50 pounds of anything or any pounds of anything that you think is suitable for you, and hold that and do a squat with it. It's your body weight plus the pounds. And it's a good compound exercise which burns a lot of fat. Another thing I did excuse the Grinch right there, but another thing I did was I have this bench in my garage. Somebody was actually giving this away, and I use it all the time. It's a bench that somebody was giving away for free. They were moving to Florida, and my brother-in-law said, can I put it in your garage? I said, yeah, so I've been using it ever since. People are always giving stuff like this away, either on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. And you can get one for yourself too. I mean, even if you don't have the room, you can still do some type of exercise with either, like I said, the resistance bands in days prior, or whatever works for you. But this is what I did. If you have a bench, or you have access to a bench, or you can get a bench, I did some leg extensions. And I just did that. And that was a great exercise. I did 5 sets of 15 because that's what I'm able to do right now. Another thing I did was, and I don't know how to properly show you, but I use these for glutes. So I laid on the bench. Try to move around for you. I laid on the bench, and then I curled the legs from behind, and that was also super helpful for my glutes. Lastly, so I have these resistance loops. I showed you resistance bands the other day. So these are the resistance bands that I have here on my beam, which are just a single band with a handle. These are the resistance loops, okay? So the resistance loops you can tie around your arm, your legs, or whatever works for you. So I'm going to show you what I do to work the inner and outer thigh. So I put the band around my legs, and I just move them back and forth like that, and you get a pretty good stretch like that. And so that's what I do. So there's so many things you can do. This was the leg day I did with Getting Fit Without the Fancy Equipment. So I hope this works for you. And I'm only sharing this stuff because I just think that more people would benefit from just moving their body. Because disease comes from dis-ease. If your body is not at ease, then you're opening yourself up to disease. And so moving your body is great. It's done wonders for me. And you too can get fit without the fancy equipment. See you on your fitness journey.